Every day during the season, we'll give you a heaping helping of baseball conversation. It's a segment that we'll call the Daily Pickle.
I am in a pickle.
We actually get to say that on the radio.
An exclusive presentation of The Rob Dibble Show.
We're just trying to avoid getting hit right now as they're doing like a simulated game.
It was pretty cool, man.
It's very cool. And I mean, the technology, too, that they're going to see in the major leagues, they have it here in Double-A. It's unbelievable, the TrackMan, where they know, how hard they could throw, how hard the ball comes off the bat, the launch angle of the swing, all the kind of stuff that the young players like to know and stuff, and they get it in real time. And I just think that a lot of these players – they don't know how good they have it. I mean, we were lucky. We were lucky if we had like a Whirlpool or something like that, like from 1945 in the locker room back when I was playing. And I'm not saying that was bad at all because that's all you knew. I mean, but this is all that they know. This is all that they've grown up with. They've all grown up with this now and this technology. I don't want to say they're spoiled because they're not. This is what they know. And I think it's all the kind of stuff that's going to help them to be – I mean, some of the players I see in the major leagues right now are phenomenal. I mean, the batting average might be a little bit low, but when we see the Ellie De La Cruzes and the Corbin Carrolls and the guys like that some of these guys could probably be playing football or basketball, could probably be playing another sport. We're actually lucky to have the athletes that we have right now in Major League Baseball that are ambassadors for these kids growing up. Now these kids are going, hey, I might have 4.4 speed. Maybe I don't want to play football. Maybe I want to play baseball. And so, and now, honestly, I was at that jamboree the other day.
Yeah.
And some of the football players were coming up and asking me if I could help them learn how to hit and throw. I'm like, listen, God gave you 6'5" frame, kid. I'll teach you how to play some baseball. I mean, that's what Whitey Herzog used to say. Give me a kid who throws 95, I'll teach him how to throw strikes. That's the bottom line. So when you're watching these games, appreciate these. They're still putting in the hard work. They're still putting in the effort, sometimes maybe too much. Sometimes year-round, which I don't agree with. I think they should take more time off. But the technology to see what they're seeing. Honestly, the golfers have the technology.
Yeah.
Of all the sports that have the best technology, knowing what your swing speed is, knowing what the speed of the ball, the rotation of the ball, all of that stuff really helps golfers hone their skills. It's just scratching the surface right now in baseball. And honestly, I love the Rapsodo machine. I don't want to live by it and get kids too caught up in it, but when you can shape pitches and you can get someone to find the release point. I saw it the other night, and I totally agree with this. So when you release and you're following through and you're bent knee, ball's coming out of your hand at about 5 feet, 5'3" off the ground. You want to try to duplicate that. So what it shows me is if I can keep trying to hit 5'3", 5'3", 5'3", not going like – 4'11" on my breaking ball and 5 feet on my breaking ball, meaning that I'm dipping my arm a little bit. These are all things that are going to make kids better, and honestly, I think it will keep them healthier.
And I think it's very interesting. And just like the video game era, man, like, I'm sorry, but and when you look at the video screen
it speaks
and stuff,
to them.
Oh, exactly. And that's why I think a lot of them love it. Now, by the way, live from Duncan Park, we're here at Dibble Bobble Night, first 1,500, get in. We're watching the Yard Goats kind of do a simulated game. And what Dibs is talking about is on the scoreboard, they have all the Rapsodo data for the batter.
Not Rapsodo, TrackMan.
TrackMan, for the batter and some for the pitcher as well.
Yep.
But you say this all the time, and I think about this with baseball a lot.
Okay, so you see all the way to the right the spin rate.
Right.
Guy just threw either a breaking ball or a fastball. And I can't tell what it was, but it shows you the revolutions per minute.
It looks like it was something off speed because it was right around.
No, 2,400 is major league average on like a breaking ball. So I'm going to say that's a breaking ball, and it was 24.37. So honestly, the next one. So when you're looking at the hit speed was 100 mile an hour off the bat. The pitch was 82 miles an hour, so obviously it was a breaking ball, 23.53. So that's right at major league level stuff. So, the feedback immediately to Double-A guys, I've got major league stuff. I've just got to get it more consistent. I've got to be able to throw, instead of maybe 55% strikes with a breaking ball, I got to throw 75% strikes with a breaking ball. So a lot of this is technology that's useful information.
Well, the one pushback I have, and I love it for golf as well, because just like you're saying with the arm height of your pitch, you're getting told things that you won't notice while you're doing it.
Right.
I like it better for golf than I do for baseball.
Right.
I do believe major leaguers all the way down to the little leaguer kids, paralysis by
Absolutely.
analysis.
That's why I tore our hit tracks out of the batting cage this last year. Only because, not that it wasn't effective with the numbers, was they were too locked in pitch to pitch.
Exactly.
They weren't getting their work in. They weren't getting in
They weren't playing the game.
They weren't right, exactly.
They weren't playing the game.
And so, listen, so if I'm out on the mound, now Joel Samaya was guilty of this when he played. He would turn around and see his mile per hour. Oh, I'm throwing 103. You don't need to do it then. You know, I mean, here's two things about being in the major leagues. Hitters will let you know how you're throwing. They don't care what the velocity is. If they're hitting balls to the wall, in the gap, line shots everywhere, and the velo is 110 plus off the bat, you're getting smoked. You're getting lit up. You're obviously not missing the barrel of the bat, and you need to do a better job. And you either need to pitch to the end of the bat or the inside. So that's you don't need that in real time.
That's the thing.
After the
That's
game
the thing, is
or
the
the
real
next
time.
day,
Right.
you could sit down and analyze the statistical data. You don't need it during the game.
And that's why I kind of like what we're watching. Like, I understand the data. I think it's great.
But this is for the fans.
I understand that. But these guys that are at the plate right now are looking at that scoreboard. They're looking at their spin rate, and they're trying to adjust such. When you're at the plate and the ball is coming at you 100 miles an hour, you cannot think anything other than just hit the ball.
You can't think of the spin rate.
Right. Like, if you're thinking about that kind of stuff, then you're going to be that half second behind, which is a strikeout. And we are seeing so many strikeouts in Major League Baseball, horrible batting averages, and all I keep getting told is this kind of data is going to be better and revolutionize things.
No. I'm not going to say it's going to revolutionize anything. This is only going to make them better, because I already think that these guys are struggling with the batting averages and stuff. I apologize. I've got some
What, is that
Swedish
Sour
fish.
Patch Kid?
No, Swedish fish on my teeth. It's hurting the way I'm speaking. Anyway, this is what I think the problem is. No one should ever tell you that being mediocre is okay. That's not acceptable to me. You
Right.
need to always try to improve yourself. And this is what we told each other when we were policing the locker room. You could go out there and strike out the side on 12 pitches or 9 pitches for the perfect inning, so to speak. But Greg Maddux was a believer in a 3-pitch inning, and so am I, because it's economical, it saves your arm, and it gets your team off the field quicker.
Outs and out.
And outs and out. And so in real time, you don't need to know any of that other minutia. You just need to know, listen, did I get the 3 outs? Did I give up any runs? Did I save any runs? Did I drive anybody in? I mean, those are all the things that you need to know during the game. Just play the game. The other stuff will take care of itself. You wanted to get into some of the injuries.
The big one.
Jaron Duran, he is
Yeah.
having season-ending big toe surgery. Now, this is something we talked about with Aaron Judge.
Right.
When you run into a wall and you bust up your foot, you might need surgery. Duran needs it. Judge didn't. He came back from it. It's disappointing end to a very promising season for Jaron.
So they did this right away. Surgery's already done. The operation went well.
I already
they
told
said.
you this. The same thing I'm saying about Shohei. Quicker you do it, the quicker you come back.
So now they're 6.5 out. They got the Astros again tonight. I think they just started that ball game. Are you losing the hope, Red Sox fans?
A little bit. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. You're being beat by a better team.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
being beat by the Astros right now. They're a team that is very difficult to beat. They might win their division. They're trying to honestly, they're trying to stick with the Seattle Mariners
And Rangers.
and the Rangers.
And the Rangers.
But right now you've got 3 teams in the same division, but 2 teams that are fighting for a wild card spot, and the other team is on cruise control. I mean, the American League West has now caught up to the American League East as 2 of the best divisions in baseball.
I don't want to play anybody in the American League West. I would
Hell
rather
no.
take my chances with Baltimore, who's never been there. And has
Well,
a
no,
lot of
I can't say that.
inexperience.
I'll play the Oakland A's all day, twice on
Well,
Sunday.
yeah, they ain't going to be there for you to play.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
ain't
You're
gonna
talking
be
postseason.
there.
I'm talking right now.
These
got
3
30
teams,
games left.
Mariners, Rangers, Astros, don't want to have anything to do with them. They got pitching all over the place. They got all-stars in their lineup. Astros lineup itself is an all-star lineup. I would rather play the Orioles and definitely the Rays and whoever gets that last spot long before I'll play those 3 teams. Well, last spot will be the Twins, but long before those teams. Not only are they playing good all year, but particularly right now they're battling so bad they're all hot. All of them are hot.
But listen, every team is battling injuries, and their pitching staffs are right now. It's very difficult with 30 games remaining. You're trying to maybe pick up guys off of waivers, and I'm sure everybody's looking for pitching. But if you can add a bat or you can get somebody on your roster in the next couple of days before the deadline's over and get them on that playoff roster, you're going to see some wheeling and dealing going on. You might even see some payroll additions to some of these organizations, too, if there's like 2 or 3 years left on some of these contracts.
So you've got some competition tonight. Obviously,
Sister Jean's throwing out a pitch, huh?
You've got to be better than Fitty. You've got to be better.
I could throw left-handed right now, and obviously I played
than
right-handed. I'd be better than
Who's
50.
the call me maybe? Carly Jepsen.
Carly Rae Jepsen.
You got to be better than her. And then Sister Jean at 104 years old, sir.
Can she throw 104? Because I could back
Depends
in the day.
on where the radar gun was.
I'm just messing with her. I love her.
She went underhand, granny style, from her wheelchair.
God bless her, man. She's still kicking at 104.
There, she is.
I hope I'm kicking at 104.
Chicago's favorite nun. She is one of the best. So you got to be better than Sister Jean. Low bar. But I think
I'm still contemplating, should I get up on the mound or should I throw from flat ground?
Flat ground. Flat ground.
I give that advice to everybody.
You got nothing to prove. You got nothing to prove.
No. And everything to lose.
No matter
Don't want anybody to get video of it.
No matter, there will be video and there will be hecklers, and no matter what you do, you're going to get yelled at by somebody.
All right, real quick, though, Daily Pickle. Yankees have won 2 in a row. Should we be saying, oh, my God, this team's turned it around?
No, it's against the Tigers.
It's against a team that's below 500, and it's pretty much mailing it in right now.
They're on the Miggy Cabrera. Thank you very much, Tor.
Miggy Cabrera, what kind of stuff can we fill up his trophy case with next?
By the way, a lot of good hat tipping between him and Verlander just recently when they were on the field together. That was
that's
cool
because that's one of the greatest matchups ever. 2 future Hall of Famers. Former teammates, just awesome guys.
I did hear a really great thing with Susan Waldman as she was interviewing some of the guys yesterday. I think it was Everson Pereira. I could be wrong. There was a couple of guys she interviewed about playing against Miggy and being on the same field and just the legend that he is when those kids were growing up and looking up to him and like goosebumps for them to even be on the same field with him this series. But yeah, dude, it's the Tigers. The Yankees aren't going anywhere. Don't get excited. Don't get excited.
No, I mean that's the whole thing. I mean, the Yankees are starting to see some of their younger talent, see what they have for next year, and that's what they should have done. They should already be calling some other guys up.
Yeah.
I'd call that Dominguez kid up, see what he can do for 30 games. I mean, it's 30 games.
See what you got.
I don't understand why you wait so long. I mean, yeah, there's probably playoffs going on down in the minor leagues and stuff like that. But listen, your team is so bad right now. If I'm trying to sell some season tickets for next year, I'm calling up my minor league guys, putting them up there, letting them play.
Got to see what you got, man. Got to kick the tires on some of those guys, but I think it's too late for any kind of motivation for this team.
Cleveland battles back here now in the 10th inning, 5-2. They have taken the lead over the Twins. Padres up 4-3 over the Cards. Your team in the 8th inning still holding tough, 2-1 Cubs over the Milwaukee Brewers. That's a huge game. Toronto 4-0 right now, end of 4 over the Nationals, and the Reds and Giants are scoreless. We got the Astros and Boston finishing up their series right now. They're in the first inning, and the Astros actually didn't score on them in the top half.
The Orioles fell already to the Chicago White Sox. Big loss for them. They're now only 2.5 up on the Tampa Bay Rays, who I don't know how they're doing this. I mean, they have lost so many different guys in the course of this year. It feels like every month they lose a key member of that team, and they just replace them. And they just keep it rolling.
I don't think you replace them, but they have the mentality and the unselfishness of, I could go 4 for 4 tonight and sit tomorrow. And they're not the type of team where there's a lot of selfish players in that locker room, and that's why they're built the way they are. Problem is they've had a lot of injuries. I'll tell you, the McClanahan injury is just devastating, man. That guy was going for a Cy Young. You want that guy for the postseason. To lose him for the rest of the year, definitely difficult. When whether they make the postseason or not, I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about how deep you go once you get to the postseason.
Yeah, I still think Randy Arozarena is one of the most underrated players in this league. He is so five-tool, does everything. But it's Glasnow, it's Savali, it's Eflin. I think you can get through a series with those 3 guys. And the rest of the guys, they're used to this. They came up with the term opener. So they're gonna be fine. I think if anybody can take down these AL West teams, it will be the Tampa Bay Rays, just because of their history in this tournament, their history in the last 5 years of doing it with so many different guys and scratching out runs and just winning ball games, just winning baseball games.
Texas Rangers actually have a nice little run right here. They've been rattling off a couple. They took the series from the New York Mets already. They're going for the sweep tonight. Then they go home for the Twins, Astros, A's. And so they can try to inch a little bit closer to those Seattle Mariners here at their homestand.
I think the A's just won, didn't they? Just they get a win? I think the A's got their 36th, 37th.
Tough road trip for them after that. Then they go to Toronto for 4, 3 in Cleveland, 3 against the Red Sox at home, and then 3 against the Mariners at home after this homestand. So Rangers, man, not looking that much easier the rest of the season.
It's all about the pitching in the back end.
All right, we see Jeff Dooley is waiting to come on and talk about these.
Heck yeah.
This Double-A Colorado Rockies team, the Hartford Yard Goats, and some other Major League stuff we'll talk to him about. So Jeff Dooley joins us next on the Rob Dibble Show with Ben Darnell live from Duncan Park in Hartford.